All right, welcome back to Morning Live. It's 22 minutes before we say goodbye here on the program. Let's take a look at some of your tweets in relation to the budget speech that will be tabled this afternoon by the Finance Minister, Pravin Gordhan. We've requested that you send through your expectations and anticipations. Let's take one from Tenkiso writing to Morning Live saying more should be put on education and health infrastructure development. All right, another issue coming to the forefront now from Anna Susan. Grants for the disabled should be much better. 1,500 and then you pay 1,000 rent for rent. This is a no-brainer. We can't breathe. Yeah, we usually see the minister adding a little bit on the grants there. Pemish writing to us, can he at least add 50 rands on our grannies? They don't even get to enjoy their pension as they spend it on their grandkids. And that is what we're expecting to see from the minister this afternoon, as we know that he usually puts a little bit on the grants, so we yet to see how much he will add on this year's budget. All right, on that note, let me take you back to Leanne in Parliament.
Thanks very much, Palesa. I love that. 50 rand more for our grannies. Okay, well, if it was up to me, I'd give them a little bit more than 50 rand. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. But Palesa, thank you very much for reading those tweets. And most importantly, thank you very much for writing into us and giving us your views and opinions and hopes and dreams, I suppose, for the budget that lies ahead for this afternoon. A big balancing act. That's all that everybody's been saying about the budget this afternoon. Perhaps our finance minister's toughest one yet. And I know it's not the first time we've said it's a tough one, because it seems that every single year that he delivers this budget speech, it just gets harder and harder, and it's just amidst basically a very tough financial environment we find ourselves in. But besides that, it's also all the politics that's happening in the background that he also has to almost close out and just focus on the economy, which those people that are close to him have said he is fantastic at doing that. He has one thing at heart, and that is South Africa and the money of South Africa. So let's just hope that it's put to good use. Now, one thing that's fantastic, and one part of the budget that I must say I always enjoy every single year, we're joined by some young, bright, upcoming minds that have entered a competition. Now, the competition is the budget speech competition. They have this competition annually, and what it does is it gives different students, both postgrad and undergrad students, the opportunity to write a speech about a selected topic. Now, the topic, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to get our guests to explain it better for us. I think for the postgrads, they were focusing in on health, the national insurance to be specific, and on the undergrad side, they were speaking more about education. So I've got 4 of the finalists with me. The winner is going to be announced this morning during a breakfast, or I'm not too sure, they'll tell me, or this evening at a dinner, I don't know, but the winner is going to be announced today. So I've got 4 of our finalists here with us, and it's so nice to be joined by you guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So when is the announcement? When do you find out who the winner is?
Well, it's actually tonight. We've got a gala dinner being hosted by Nedbank and Old Mutual.
Okay.
With the Minister of Finance.
All right, fantastic. So he will be there and he'll be meeting you guys as well. So you've started speaking, so I'm going to start with you. Osama Zwai is from Rhodes University. You're doing the postgrad side, but you're already working right now. So you're an employed man, 6 weeks in the making.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fresh into the working world, just started, and yeah, I mean, it's very interesting.
Fantastic.
And I mean, even this essay, it was very nice at university to have the opportunity to, practically put a practical aspect to the work that we do at university. So you take our economic background, all our economics over the years, and you actually make it practical in terms of, and in this case, it was on the national health insurance.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, I mean, don't take too long, because I'm going to ask everyone the same question, pretty much so your focus. What did you write about national insurance? Obviously, you made it to the final, so it must have been something quite profound that you were recommending. Talk to me about that.
Yes, well, the 2 main points in my essay was mainly on the fiscal constraints and then government incapacity. Now, when we're talking about fiscal constraints, we're talking about our current revenue and our current spending, and it's about 225 billion has been set aside for NHI over the next 10 or so years. So we're talking about the money is there, but the money must get to its destination and must be used efficiently and effectively, and the desired purpose must be met. So when we're talking about incapacity, we're talking about, you can talk about the life SED mainly thing that's just happened. in the health department things go astray. In the Auditor General's report just last year, one of the 3 departments that had the highest number of qualified audits was the Department of Health. So then you're talking about government has to ensure that they have an effective plan to make sure that if they do choose to implement NHI, that the money will be used accordingly.
Fantastic. All right, there you go. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Varsha is our next guest. I'm going to ask you to hand over the microphone. Varsha Algu is from the University of Johannesburg. It says here that now you're part of the undergraduate finalists. I aim to travel the world and help those less fortunate. So you're going to start with education, though, because that was what it was all about, the essay on the undergraduate side. What were you recommending?
Well, I recommended that maybe having standardized testing from grade 1 up until matric, because the only standard test that students actually have is in matric, and it doesn't really measure their performance well. And another measure was giving teachers the adequate training that they need in order to teach the students what they need to know. So those are my 2 recommendations in my essay.
Fantastic. Well done. So also from the undergraduate side, Nicole Dunn, she's from the University of Cape Town. Yes. And what were yours? What was your recommendation on education?
Well, I focused on primary education because I think that's something that's been historically neglected, and once children fall behind, they battle to catch up. And I looked at how we can improve both accountability and a more efficient allocation of resources, because I think, without accountability, you're not going to get your intended outcomes, but you can't mobilize resources that don't exist. So it was looking at a combination of better internal controls in schools, better teacher training and ongoing training as curriculum change, and then also looking at potential cross-subsidization models to ensure that we get better delivery of resources to less fortunate schools.
Right, fantastic. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nice one, thank you. And then our final one, who's here with us, is Sipokazi Magadla. I love what you say here. You want to be a health economist addressing food security and public healthcare challenges. You're at UCT.
Yes,
nice
indeed.
to see you. Congratulations for getting into the finals.
Thank you so much.
All right, so health. I mean, it's a big thing, and the fact that what happened at Life as a Dumeni came under the spotlight, I think it really spoke to us about the flaws in our health system quite dramatically. What did you recommend? What did you speak about?
So my focus was very much, like you said, on the strengthening of institutions in terms of hospitals, making sure that resources are there and that we actually have the doctors and nurses in the right places. So NHI has already been implemented in 10 pilot hospitals, and thus far there's been a lot of cracks. So my focus was actually on finding ways to actually make sure that those cracks are being addressed in those pilot hospitals first before we start spreading NHI to other hospitals. Another thing that I also talked about is the fact that the reason our hospitals are burdened in South Africa is because so many South Africans have non-communicable diseases. So that's your diabetes, your hypertension. That's why my focus was also making sure that all South Africans have better access to the right nutrition so they're not prone to these non-communicable diseases burdening the hospitals. Yeah.
That's amazing. Really, thank you so much for talking to us. I wish you the best of luck. Tonight you'll find out who the winner is. And in terms of your monetary values, I imagine that goes towards your studies. What is it? What does the winner get? 150?
Yes, for postgrad it's 150,000.
And then for the undergrad?
60,000.
60,000.
Yes.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you
I know that we're
so
hosting
much.
a breakfast tomorrow morning. The Finance Minister, of course, is our guest of honor. And the winner of this competition, or well, I suppose both the winners, the undergrad and the postgraduate, is also going to be a guest at that business breakfast, so I'm hoping that one of you will be there. Thank you for joining us, and good luck for tonight. Good luck. I wish you all the best. All right, I am hearing lots of hooting, lots of chanting, lots of singing and noise on the streets outside. Sort of want to find out what's happening outside of the parliamentary precinct. I do know that a little bit earlier we were showing you some banners of some protesters that had come out to come and protest against the proposed nuclear deal. They're talking about 1 trillion rand that deal may cost South Africa, and something that they don't want to be seeing done. But I got a feeling that this is a little bit more intense than that. I can just hear a lot of singing and shouting in the streets there. So we'll just kind of find out what's happening out there and hopefully have an update for you when you do come back to us here at Parliament. Do stay tuned.